Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
We've been talking a little bit about the fact that Microsoft has dropped the price on the Surface to $350, but then if you add a keyboard, that's now $450. And I said to a lot of people, you could probably get a real PC for around $450 to $500. Well, we've got one, the Dell Latitude 3330.
And this is a real PC.
And it's running full Windows. It's got a real keyboard. It starts at $439. Shannon Morse has the review.
You know what was the craziest part about this is that it's actually running Windows 7. When it started to boot up, I was like,
7?
What? It comes with 7.
Some people
but
will see that as an advantage.
You can, yeah, exactly. So for me, it kind of is definitely a pro. Some people you can upgrade if you want to. It's highly customizable on their website, so you can buy, the most expensive one and customize it to have 8 gigs of RAM and have a solid-state drive and everything. But this is a budget computer.
Right. It's
made and it's targeted for small businesses and for students. So it's definitely not going to be over, $1,000. For example, the one that I have is $560.
And how is that configured?
So this one has an Intel Core i3 processor in it, so it's a little bit on the laggy side whenever you're trying to stream data or trying to watch a 4K video or something like that. It also has 4 gigs DDR3 RAM, and it has a 320 gig solid hard drive, excuse me. And then it also has, regular
Yeah, you won't
Intel
see a solid-state drive at a price like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It also just has B, G, and N wireless as far as this goes.
That's fine. Nobody has AC.
But you can upgrade to AC if
you
really want to.
All right.
Yep. So they do have that option. But I found myself just fine with the wireless. I had no problems with that. The screen is 13 inches. So you get a nice wide screen. It's very nice. I like that it's matte, so you don't have a shiny surface on it, so you don't have a lot of issues with that. And it's a 1366 by 768, so it's a little bit smaller of a resolution. And that's kind of a problem if you want one of those really hardcore resolutions that a lot of laptops have these days.
But typical in a laptop of that price.
Exactly.
And with that kind of performance, I mean, you can't drive a lot of megapixels with an i3. And
exactly.
It probably has HD 4000 graphics. It's, it's kind of... Yeah. But for a student, this might... Now, the real question is the build quality.
Build quality is actually really exceptional.
Really?
I was very impressed with the hardware. Yeah, so the... exterior, of course, this
plastic.
is a Dell laptop. Yeah. It's plastic, and you can tell. But it also has a really nice hardcore battery in the back of it, and it raises it up a little bit, so you get a lot of, you don't have a lot of heat problems with it on the bottom. The speakers are located on the front, which is a great placement for the 2 speakers. They're just pretty average. There wasn't anything really special about the 2 of them, but I like that they were on the front instead of on the bottom, so you're not getting muffled interference when you have it on your lap and you're watching, Netflix movies or what have you. The keyboard was probably one of my favorite parts. It doesn't flex, no problems with that. It's full. So I had no problems with that.
Yeah,
it's
nice
not,
big shift keys and return
crappy
keys.
Little chiclet. You don't have any problems with any of these being smaller than they should be.
That's good.
You have a nice big enter and a nice backspace and the delete keys and all those over here.
Really would be a good student laptop.
Yeah, so it was really excellent. Even the touchpad has separate keys right there. So
and how was the touchpad? That's one of the areas
it was fine.
Cheap computers don't do as well.
Yeah,
really?
I was really happy with it. It even does multi-gesture touching. So I can do, scrolling up and down with 2. I can also do the triple and zoom in, zoom out. So they have a lot of extras that you wouldn't think you'd get for this price. All very good, especially for a student. Very impressive. Now, I want to go ahead and give you my pros and cons for this.
Okay.
The keyboard is great. I was really proud of that. The battery life was pretty good. So I tried this out for really, really heavy use yesterday, and it lasted about 4 hours and 40 minutes, which is pretty good. It doesn't take very long to charge, and they say that it can hit up to 6.5 hours, which I'm assuming is correct if you're not playing, tons of HD movies all day, which was what I was doing. And of course, it's Windows 7, and that's definitely a pro, especially if you're not a big Windows 8 fan. Now, my cons of this, of course, is the i3, the low processing speed, because that is a big problem with this.
Can you get an i5 in it?
You can't.
Okay.
Well, you can customize it and get a
Yeah, but I noticed
one,
I don't see it's either a Celeron or this is the high end, the i3.
This is the high end is the i3. Yeah, that's the big problem is that their customization, they say you can upgrade it, but the pricing and the specs that they allow for the regular purchased ones it just goes up to an i3.
It's a consumer grade laptop.
Yeah, exactly. And there is no solid state drive, which means that you're going to have a little bit lower processing speed with that as well whenever you're trying to read, write, and things like that.
And it's Windows 7. It's a previous version of Windows.
So that can be a pro or a con.
Depends on whether you want it or not. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So for myself, this isn't the kind of laptop that I would buy necessarily because it has a lot of cons to it that I think are major issues, like the resolution.
Right.
It's a really great laptop for traveling around and bringing with you to a study hall or something like that. It's very lightweight. It's only 4 pounds, a little bit less than 4 pounds actually. And it's got, all the ports that you would need on both sides. So you have all those extras. And one of these is USB 3.0. I think it's the one on this side, even though it's not colored the normal way.
Let's look at the bottom. Can you unscrew the bottom and add RAM?
Yes,
see, it's got that big port on the bottom.
Yeah.
So you could put a bigger hard drive in there, put more memory in there.
Yeah, so you do have that
You could
option.
upgrade it yourself if you wanted to. Yeah.
And I do like the fact that Dell included that in this laptop.
Yeah.
So I decided to give it a try based on the fact that this would be a really nice option for a lot of people, especially if you're on a budget. At around $500, it's a really good price point. But at the same time, it's not something I would purchase. I would probably save up a little bit more and purchase the Acer, the new S7 or something like that.
But it's a good budget choice.
Yeah.
I'm very pleased to see that for $500,
Me too.
you can get a decent
And I can't
laptop.
believe you can still buy laptops with Windows 7 on it. I guess it shouldn't be that
That's the good news.
I was like, whoa, that's so weird.
Yeah. All right, good. A try. Shannon Morse produces the show and also hosts Hack 5 and ThreatWire at youtube.com/techfeed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shannon.